All right, you maggots, listen up. I'm not going to do a real detailed video about this mechanism for Hallicrafters SX42. What I'm going to do is I'm going to warn you what the other person didn't warn you about. There are videos, guy basically shows you this and the whole thing. If you bought the radio, you know that you probably should know this was coming. This has a clutch in it. He shows it on the video. I don't want to do all that. I'm just going to issue a warning and some suggestions. Now, first off, this is an anti-backlash gear. All right. Now, notice there's a spring here and a spring here. What are they doing? Okay, this is two gears stacked. One gear is tied to the shaft. The other gear is on this shaft, but it's freewheeling, and you have these two springs under compression. So you rotate the bottom gear until you feel compression. Now, how many teeth do you move it? I don't know. I wasn't able to find it. So I'm warning you, if you are going to take it completely apart, write down on one of these teeth, put a scratch mark so it will not rub off. Don't use magic marker. And then on the bottom gear, on the tooth, try to put a scratch mark so you can recompress this gear before you put it back together. Now, I'll suggest to you that you clean everything with Q-tips. Maybe get those extra long Q-tips if you can find them, the ones that are on sticks. Clean it with that and take a precision oiler and oil the mechanism. Do not disassemble it. Disassemble it. All right. I'm looking at this thing. This gear here is an anti-backlash gear. There's two more inside, and you could take it apart. And your odds of getting this back together, not knowing what the tooth, how much backlash you put into it, into the teeth. In other words, you preload the gear. That's a better word. Preload. Now, I had these gears in avionics stuff that I had, and it was 3 teeth, but I don't know. And then plus these springs over time, they might have lost a little bit of oomph. They might be a little bit rusted. See, springs, a lot of a spring's tension is on the surface of the spring steel. So as these springs age and the surface of them rust, they lose the amount of tension. In this case, it would be compression. There's two types of springs. Ones that are under compression, and there's a little finger on the top gear that goes into this side of the spring, and the bottom gear has a finger that goes into the bottom. So these two gears want to separate from each other, or not separate, rotate away from each other, and that's the preset. So basically, you move one gear in the opposite direction of the other gear. These start to compress, and then you lower the gear in position, and the amount of preset is locked by this gear. And what this gear is for is, say you're tuned away from 10 megacycles, WWDV. When you tune back, it's going to be dead on. The pointer is going to be dead on. The backlash in the gears, between the teeth, and gears normally have a little bit of play. These gears do not. This gear, the play is taken up by the spring because there's two gears. They're pancaked together. If you've never saw one before, it's interesting. But if you take something like this apart and expect there to be exploded view and preset the teeth and all, you're not going to find it on this radio. That's what I'm here to warn you about. Now, one of the, let's see if it's in the frame. No. Okay, let me move the camera over. Right here. You drop a drop of oil right here. This is a shaft coming out through a bushing. And then you drop one drop of oil over here on this shaft where it goes through. That's all you have to do is clean the gears up using a toothbrush, Q-tips, and then with a precision oiler, re-oil what you can. If you take this thing apart, I can't help you. I'm not taking it apart. I'm going to go the simplest way. Now on the back side, when you flip this over, you'll see two more of these gears and there's two dial cord units that you have to restring. That's in the manual, the way the dial cords go. But my goal of this video is to warn you about the preset of this gear. And like I said, one of the gears is tied to the shaft and the other one is freewheeling on the same shaft. And then you rotate it so many teeth, and then you lower it down and it gets locked by this. And it might be 3 teeth, it might be 2. I know it's not 1. It usually is a little bit more than that. But, you know, if you're a beginner and you take this thing apart and you're pretty mechanically inclined and you don't realize that as you allow this to spring loose, these springs are going to disappear on you. They're going to go down into the rug or bounce down onto the floor. That's all this video is about, was warning you. There are other videos. The guy shows how this works. He shows the clutch. That's not what I'm doing. He's done that. Somebody's done that already. My thing is, he didn't warn you about this gear. Now, he might have just said, I'll set it for 3 teeth. Fine. Puts it together. I'll be dead before it wears out. If you do set this for 3 teeth, what will happen is that they'll be in compression. This spring will go into compression, and it'll probably go for 20 years. Someone using it, you know, on and off. But what is the real preset amount? I don't know. The best I found looking on the internet was the parts list for this unit. See, Hallicrafters basically, I guess, wanted you to send the unit back for them to work on, and at some point they don't work on it anymore. Then what do? There's a lot of companies that were like that, and like you take ICOM. There were people complaining that they stopped servicing the R71A. Well, the thing got to be, let's see, that'd be almost 40 years old, 35 years old. Well, they know so many capacitors in that radio are going to be bad that if they start troubleshooting it, they're going to be in it a while, and they're not going to make any money on the repair. Companies, they like to do repair when it's within warranty. Once it's out of warranty, on a radio that's very complicated, that the amount of money they're going to charge you, you're not going to be happy with. So they'd rather not do it. But I think I've warned you enough now. I think that's it. All right, I think that's it.